Alrighty. Give me a second or two so I can pull up my stuff here. I know I am on as of this. Hey, Sonia, what are you doing up this late? Get some rest. I know I'm up fairly late. I know people are either wrapping gifts or whatever. I've had mine done for a few days. I'm pretty restless. I slept in the middle of the day, which is not cool because it messes up my sleep schedule. So what I do, I paint at 12:30 at night. So, yeah. I'm going to do some kind of middle of the country type of scene with, I think I'm going to paint a great big old buffalo. Big old bison. I'm going to put him right in here somewhere. But before I do that, obviously I'm going to do him a different way because I didn't have him maxed out or anything. I just want to deal with the scenery. I'm probably going to do some alterations to this little stream here. It may be expanded or whatnot. We'll see. But let's go over here to the glass palette. I got Mars Black, the light blue. I got Cad Red, Cad Orange. What are you again? I keep forgetting this type of blue. It's Prussian blue, sap green, and titanium white. All right. You just got into bed. It's not your fault. No, it is not your fault. Nope. You are off the hook on this one. Obviously, you guys can see over here on the upper corner. Here is the water, which is nice and dirty. Then I got the vegetable glycerin right here. So I'm not going to slather a bunch of glycerin on here. I'm going to just dip the glycerin in the paint and we'll work on it from there. All right. As you can see, the couple mountains. Okay. But I'm going to work on the clouds first. I did the pencil lines fairly dark, so maybe I can see where the mountains are once the paint starts to dry and all that good stuff. All right. Okay. We'll more or less get right into this. Okay. All right. So I'll dip into, I got glycerin here with my 1.5 inch brush, and we'll just slather the glycerin on. It goes a little bit below the mountains. Okay. So, and this is just regular watercolor paper. There's no backing board on it or anything. Okay. All right. We'll do something with the clouds a little different, more or less. What I'm going to do with the clouds is more or less kind of hand do them, almost in a traditional fine arts way. So I'll somewhat paint them in, but I'm going to do like a background sky type of deal first. I'll take a corner of white here and I'll pop the white on in there just like this first. I might even go a little bit below the mountain, who knows, but I'll just slap the white on in here like that. I'm gonna take a little touch of orange. We'll put the orange right in there, a little touch of red into the orange, and we'll kind of put this, we'll put it up around here somewhere, just kind of lightly wave it in there like that, and I'll kind of smooth it out and everything. So our sky is going to be a mod podge of a little bit of color. We'll see, something like that. Okay. All right, I'll clean the brush off. I'll go into a little touch of white. We'll put it right here in the corner. Get some of this sky blue, put it in here. We'll get this white mix in it. Okay. And we're going to come up around the top here. We'll kind of play with it up in here a little bit. And we'll come up on top up here and slap some of that in there. Kind of marry it in there with that orange a little bit. Just kind of blend it in together. Once again, this is more or less just sky. Okay. Get some more. Get a little more blue. Wipe it in there. Kind of pop it in there. And I'll just keep blending. Keep on blending. It will mesh in there really nicely. Very lightly go across all of it there. Okay, something like that. All right. Hey, Jessica. Hey, Maria. Well, I can understand that. Nice to see you, even if it is for a few seconds. I know I'm on extremely late, so I do understand. Oops, I just disliked myself. Hold on. But I understand. I really don't expect to have too many people on at this time of night. So I get it. I do. And it's all right. I truly understand it is fairly late. And I used to do a lot of these this late at night. Because, you know, I'm usually done with all chores of the day and I'm not really doing too much. Everything's pretty much done. So I will usually come in and you know, mess around and do stuff, you know, about this time at night. So I understand. Okay, let's get into a little bit of cloud play here. Let's mess with a little bit of let's mess with some dark blue. We'll put it right here by this orange. It doesn't matter because I'm making a darker color anyway. So we got some blue. We'll take its color opposite, some blue and orange. It's going to turn kind of greenish. Okay. Then we're going to take that green and we're going to pop some red in there. We're going to get it nice and we're going to darken it up a little bit. Just like that. And get a little more red. We'll pop it in there. Get some sap green. We're going to kill some of that. And what I'm doing actually is going to turn it kind of brown. Just like that. All right. Now that we got that brown happening, throw in some more blue. Okay. So I get a color mix, and then I take the color mix and I alter the color mix, which is what you see me doing right now. I'm gonna pop some white in there, just like that. It's gonna turn it this weird, funky kind of grayish color. And I'm gonna use this for a dark cloud mix. So we're gonna have some dark mix of the clouds. Hey Rob, how you doing? And we're gonna kind of play with right around in here. And we're gonna kind of play with it right up in there like that. And we're gonna get a nice little line, somewhere around in here, like this. Maybe something like that. But we're gonna block all that in. Get a nice dark cloudy mix right in there. Now I'll start to mess around with it and flesh it out and do all sorts of little things with it. But I'm gonna just block it in right now. Like I said, this will be a little different. Not like I really am pressed to go anywhere tomorrow. So I'll take my time, run my mouth. Because like I said, I don't really expect too many people to be watching this. Not at this time of night. Okay. We'll smooth all this out in a few minutes. Okay. Once again, I'm just fleshing this guy out a little bit. Alright. We're going to do lighter clouds on the other side. But right now, once again, I'll just smooth all this out. dig some more of this up and put it out here. Now this is a fair amount of glycerin out here, not really too much. And we'll do our blending and whatnot with another brush. This brush is really too small, but once again, I'm just filling out things. Okay, and we just let it dry and do what it does. Okay, much like that. I'm looking at it and I'm trying to make sure that little bit of horizon's straight down there. It's not. I just gotta straighten it up a little bit. Comes down just a little bit more than that. Just like so. Just want to tighten that up a little. Okay. Just like that. And now I'll leave you be. I'll work with that a little bit later. Let's go up here in this, on this side here. We're gonna get some, let's play with the orange for a second. We'll bring the orange right around in here. Need a little white to kind of bump up that orange a little bit. And we'll just kind of come in here and kind of get some cloud play going in there. Just like that. We'll kind of mess around with a couple in here, bring it up here, down. Okay, now as we get to the edge, I'll fade that out a little bit. We'll make those a little smoother. And I really don't have to add any power, just kind of tap it in there. Just make it kind of fade away there. Just like so. Something like that. We'll take a bit of blue. Maybe a little touch of white in that blue. We'll bring it right in here. And we'll play with some of that right in here, like this. And we'll come around in here, kind of play around with something. Now you see I'm not going directly to the bottom with it. Don't have to, because I'll kind of fade this out and keep messing with it and playing with it. Get some more, kind of pop it in there in little places. So it'll gradually look like something when I'm done. I'll maybe pop some up here in this corner like this. All right. Once again, I'll just clean off the brush real fast. I'm hanging in there, Rob. I'm hanging in there. And once again, I'll just kind of pat and smooth this out a little bit. Basically, here on the bottom, I want it to kind of blend away. Pat it really soft and kind of, once again, just kind of scumble and blend away, smooth out some edges there. And we'll mess with a little bit of white and everything. Once again, to get a nice gentle blend of this stuff. I mean, this brush might be a little too narrow, but we'll work with it because it's going to be a series of blends anyway. I'll bring some of that color down a little bit. I don't want it to really run into the orange, so we'll play with it a little while. It's all good. And I can smooth all of this out, but like I say, I'm gonna get a little bit of white and we'll play around in all of these clouds here. Get a little slight touch of white, just a tip in there. We'll kind of play around with it and blend it in, have a little fun. I got a soft blending brush that I'll be adding, or I'll be blending this stuff out a little bit better. Right now I'm just fleshing out things here. Drag some of that blue into it. Have it run into the others just a little bit. Okay. Hope everybody has a great and happy tomorrow morning. Opening up gifts, laughing and playing, drinking massive amounts of coffee or whatever adult beverage you might be indulging in. Have their nice Christmas dinner and all that good stuff. And as you can see, I'm just kind of doing circular things, just blending stuff in a little bit. Just a little bit there. Smooth it all out. The glycerin is still fairly wet. I'm gonna blend out some of these edges here. I can press it a little bit and soften them up. Get a little touch of white, pop it in there. And it just kind of softens up things. That's all. So get some interesting cloud stuff happening there. A little bit of white, come on down here on the bottom. Play around a little bit in here. Once again, it's just to soften up some stuff. These are lighter clouds, lighter tones. And the care that I'm putting into the light area, I'll also be doing with the darker area. Make it very interesting. Okay. All right, let's take let's take a little bit of, I'm going to go back to my filbert here, and we're going to play with a little bit of just a tiny bit, just the tip of the brush. We're going to play with a little bit of we'll play with a little bit of red in there, kind of put it down in there like this, marry it into the orange a little bit. Red is a very strong color, so we'll kind of, once again, we'll play with it all in here. Bring it down in here a little bit. And just scumble some patterns in there. Come down here a little bit. Then I'll take a little touch of white, because we can tone that down a little. Blend it into that orange a little. Some more white. And we'll kind of, once again, we'll mellow some of that out. Just a little bit. Bring it up in here. We're on watercolor paper. Got a little bit of glisten in it. And see, it's just kind of toning some of that down a little bit. I'll be introducing some more blue into it. But right now we're getting a nice little mix of color blend in there. Going right into the mountain doesn't matter, because obviously the mountain will be somewhat on the darker side, but the mountain here in the back will be blended into the cloud play here. So now I'm going to take some orange and white, and we're going to beef up a little bit of that orange. A little bit of white into that orange there. A little heavier orange. Okay, pull it towards me. Once again, we'll start adding a little bits of orange in there, a little stronger orange. Orange is once again very we'll kind of mix it in there like that. Orange is a transparent color. And once again, I'll kind of blend it in there real light. Get rid of some of that hard edge. Don't need the edges too hard. And bring some of that into that red. Get a nice gentle blend. Kind of have your clouds go in a certain direction there. And you gotta be careful once you start dipping into that blue, because you don't want your clouds to turn green all of a sudden. All right. So some of it might look a little funny to you, and that's okay. That's all right. It will all It'll all even out. Once again, just darken up some of that sky a little bit there. You'll do it. It takes time. Don't try to rush it. I appear to be going fast because I'm used to doing it. Once again, this is kind of different than what you normally would see me do with wet on wet. This is more a traditional way of doing it, to which at one point in time I couldn't stand doing this. That's because I didn't understand it, and I didn't really have the patience for it. You got to kind of grow into it, you know. And once again, smoothing things out. Now I do go through brushes. That's why I probably don't use a lot of the expensive brushes, like the one I'm holding in my hand right now. This filbert. It does, you know, this filbert costs a little bit, but it's all right. I'm gonna take a little touch of white, just a little touch, and I'm gonna come in here. And once again, there's some edges I want to kind of smooth over a little bit. The white will do it. I'm putting it on lightly. It doesn't really overpower, but it just smooths out some of those little rough edges there, here and there. Okay. Clean out my brush because I don't want to trail any of the blue into the orange, because once again, it will turn green on you. So just be careful. Little touch of white, just a little bit. Oh, let's kind of go in here a little. Once again, just toning down some things. Kind of marry some colors a little bit more. This helps blend it in. Remember, the glycerin is still sort of wet in there. Okay. Once again, the same care that I'm doing right now with these brighter colors, I would be doing it with the darker colors, and you'll see. Okay. So a nice little gentle blend of colors in there. All right. You'll be drinking coffee tomorrow. So would a whole lot of other people, Jessica. All right. Let's go in here. Now, with this kind of grayish look we have going on here, we can start to play around with different values and such. Okay. Let's go into a little bit of dark blue. We'll put it right here in this grayish stuff here. Maybe I'll use a little bit of this black. Now, once you start going into black, now I'm going to use a little bit of black in the blue. Be a little more bluish than black. All right, I'm going to dip a little bit of glycerin in that, so we can get this to flow and move around. I want it to blend. So I'm using the glycerin and I'm putting it into the paint itself. Okay. All right. And we'll start from right down here. Get a nice contrast there. And as we do it, okay, I'm gonna start to kind of go in a circular motion, lighten it up a little bit. You start building and fading stuff. I'm gonna kind of get something up in here. And lightly just kind of blend it out there. Get another curve in here and just go in little circular motions. Under here is fairly dark. You got to establish some depth underneath that cloud, more or less. Once again, like painting the letter C. Get that shape going there, and then we'll start building things from there. Right up in here, kind of shade it out a little bit. Fairly dark here on the bottom, particularly on the bottom. All right. You do another one. Oh, let's do it right about in. We'll do one right in here like this. And give it a nice round curve there. Very soft, very soft. Blend it away. And I'll probably put another one right in here. Smaller one. And you keep messing with it. Nowhere near done. But we just keep playing with it. Get a little bit of glycerin, just loosen up the paint a little bit. Just thinking of patterns here. Right down in here, fairly dark, very light. Just keep blending. Keep blending. Keep blending. All of this, as you can see, I'm going in that circular motion, like the letter C. Just keep going, keep blending. Once again, we'll keep this dark theme. I'm just using the filbert brush. Once again, the same care that I put into the light colors, you do the same thing with the darker colors in there. All right, a little bit of glycerin. Let's go in this direction. Keep fading it and playing with it there. Just like that. I'm gonna go into my little bit of blue. We'll separate the blue. A little bit of glycerin in that blue, loosen up that blue a little bit. Just a little bit. And we'll start kind of so not only is it extra color, but it's almost like a glaze. Blend it into each other. And you're going to get all sorts of cute little tones and variances going on with it. Not really much into the lighter colors or anything. We're just going to go with different degrees of the darker tones. And as you see, I'm sticking pretty much with the filbert here. And marrying the colors together. You use a brush that you feel comfortable with using. Okay. I'm going to take a little bit of red. We'll tease some red in there. See that? Because the red is related to what we got going on here. All right, so it kind of matches right in there. And you can keep blending. It mixes in there. And it gives a little interest to your clouds. Okay. And you keep playing, keep mixing it in there. And you can really go into this as much as you feel you need to. All right. I'm gonna pop some of that way back here too. So I just pat what I want, and then you just kind of stroke it on in there. Wherever you want it. Take a little blue, put it right here, and get a small, and I mean a small touch of white, pop it in there. And we're gonna kind of pop in some of that, maybe a little bit in here like this. Still going with that round motif a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna wipe some off my brush, and then I'm gonna just blend that in there, circular motion. Still kind of a circular thing going on there. Just a little bit here and there. Little bit, just a little bit. We'll come up around in here, add a little bit of that in there. You see just a hint of that. Okay. Just a hint of that color. Not too much. So as I talk, and you know, people will start to kind of fall off. Once again, not hurt my feelings. I know I am on extremely late, so I understand that. And once again, go back into the blending. But you see how it's starting to build up. You kind of see where things are going. You're not taking away from the fact there's still a darker cloud there. Still got some stuff happening, some stuff going on there. All right. Yeah, I know it's a little bit after 1 in the morning. I understand. If you got to get your nap time in, go for it. Nothing wrong with that. All right. Nothing wrong with that at all. Tiny bit of white. And we're just going to kind of add a little bit of love in there. Just a little bit. We're going to come up around in here a little. Come up in here. I'm just framing a little bit of this. Little residual light coming off these guys. Just a little bit. And I mean a scant little bit. Like right in here, pop a little bit of, just like a little guideline there. And it really helps flesh out that darker cloud. I'm just wiping off the brush really good. And we'll kind of, once again, kind of a circular motion. Right up in here, drag it out a little bit and it will disappear. Just like that. See, I'm taking a little more time with these guys. Okay. And once again, you're just framing out, just framing out a little bit of where things are kind of touching a little bit, something like that. We'll play with a little curve up in here. That's all. Okay. Like I said, I don't expect people to really stay on as late as I'm doing this. They can always check it out when it's on their own time. So I'm not too worried about that. Because who knows if I'm going to even really stay up to finish it all. But the majority of it will be done tonight. That's for sure. The buffalo might be last. I might be able to do everything else, but maybe the buffalo will be last. All right, something like that. All right. So we got our little bits of red, our orange, our blues in there, just playing around. We got the dark guy right here. All right. Okay. Let's play around with this mountain in the background back here. This mountain back there is going to pretty much stay around the same similar color as you see back here, which sets the mountain far back. All right. So we'll first flesh it out first. We'll get a little bit of orange. We're going to take a long-handled brush. Little orange, slight touch of red, very slight in there. Okay, let me see something here. I really don't want it to be green. I'm still looking at it here. I don't want it to be green. Let me add a touch more red in that. We'll play with the orange and the red for a second. Okay. Get a little touch of glycerin and we'll put it in there. I'm going into my Mars black. We're going to deepen it a little bit. Okay. See what that little touch of Mars black does? Okay. Add a little more orange to that. So we got this brownish orange thing happening there, which is still cool because I can lighten it up a little bit with a touch of white. Just like that. All right, let's play with this. And we'll come here and we'll and basically I want the top of Mr. Mountain here to be, now because of the color that I'm choosing for this, it's kind of a burnt orange color. All right. It's still going to set back further because it's pretty much close to the color of what we got in the background. And we're going to stop it right around there. We're not going to go too far down with this mountain. It's going to be kind of faded and it's going to disappear a little bit. And it's just to give the image of this thing being in the background back there. Okay. You have a good night, Jessica. Get some sleep. It's all right. Like I say, I'm going to be on here for a minute. I'm just taking this color. This is pure glycerin. I'm just thinning it out down here. I'm just dragging this color. We're gonna get a fade going in there. I'm dragging it out in a kind of a path of where the mountain is kind of going there. All right, going right to the top. Keep dragging it down. We're gonna fade this mountain right out anyway, but there's gonna be little details in the mountain. We're gonna get little things happening here. Okay. Yep, you have a good night. Getting a little white. Going down below here. And as I'm going down below, I'll push up into the mountain. Push up into the mountain there a little bit. White back and forth, fade it out. Picking a little more white. And I'm just gonna, this is the titanium white. I'm just gonna kind of go down below and fade some of that out there. This is why I did the pencil lines a little dark, so I can see the path of my other mountain. And very lightly, just fade her on out. Just like that, fade it right out. Just like that, fade it right out. No problem, Rob. Okay, so let's play around with some mountain kind of texture stuff. I'm still going to use this brush. Okay, I'm going to use let's play with some, well, we'll deal with we'll still deal with this color here. What do we got? We got a little bit of orange, a little touch of red with that orange. A little more orange there. All right. So we'll deal with this. And we'll kind of do a little bit of the shaded part. We're going to use pretty much the brush to mess with the mountain a little bit. We'll kind of play around with some textures in there. Now, because I got the glycerin on here, I can kind of fade and mess around with it with my finger a bit, as you can see. Because the paint's still kind of tacky. I can kind of play around with it and change the direction of it, all that fun stuff. So just having a little fun with it. Let's take a little bit of white, put it right here, and mix it into this lighter color here. Okay. And we'll play off in here a little bit, like so. You go in the other direction. Like I say, you don't need extreme detail. It's in the back. Don't have to overdo it, because once again, these guys are in the back there. Once again, what helps this out is that I can do the finger painting thing. Smooth it all out down there too, just like so. I'm going to take a script liner. We're going to put like a little river or something down in that hill. Let's take a script liner. Just get a little bit of white. We'll put it right around in here. Get a little touch of blue. Just like that. A little more white. A little bit of water, loosen it up a little bit. Let's take this and we'll get like a little stream thing happening there. Just like that. Keep come on down. Just like that. Get little water things happening here. Come on down with it. Like that. So you got little bits of little water trickling down there. Come on down there, like that. So you got little tributaries coming down there, like so with this way back there. All right. All right. So I'm still looking at it here. I'll take the, where's my filbert? We'll take the filbert, we're gonna get a little more fog going. So I'm going to take a little bit of white down below. And we're gonna brush it up into the mountain a little bit. Just like that. And it's just a little bit of white. I go down below the mountain itself, down here. And as it wears off my brush, I'll gently kind of pop it into the mountain there, like that. And you just keep repeating it. Go down below. I'm gonna get a little heavier white on the mountain's edge here. We're gonna kind of fade that mountain in there a little bit like that. Blend it into the rest, but kind of fade it out there. All right. And you're just scumbling. That is an actual word, scumble. Once again, I'm taking a little more care with this guy. So get a little fog going in there. And you're just creating a little distance between the back mountain and the mountain that's going to be in the front there. That's all, just a little distance in between, like so. Okay. What may also throw you off a little bit is that there's so much white down here. Okay, so nothing's really can give you any sense of depth as of yet, because you don't have anything even bigger and darker that to kind of put this like next to or against. Okay, but we're gonna change that right now. All right, we'll stick with actually I'm gonna get with a slightly larger brush, because I don't really want any fog here. I've got the mist here, but I really don't want none of that here. Okay, we're gonna do something a little different there. So let's take a slightly larger brush. I might even do it with this guy. I don't want to. I think I got something a little bit more in between in that. I know I do. I just can't seem to. Oh no, there it is. I'm looking right at it. We'll take this one. I like this one. We'll take this brush and we'll do it. Okay. Let's gather up enough color. I will use a little bit of blue. We'll put it right here. A little bit of red. Put it right here. Obviously, we're going to need a whole lot more than what you're looking at right now. So let's get a little bit more blue. Let's just scoop it right up there. A little bit more red. It's a deep maroon, all right. And then we'll scoop some black in there. All right, get a little glycerin. Wet it up a little bit. All right. Hopefully this should be enough, but I somehow doubt it. We'll be making some more of this color, but it's okay. All right, and we're gonna start sketching in our larger mountain. Okay, all right, and here we go, right up in here. Just like that, and we're gonna come down right here, like that. Come on down with it. We're gonna come somewhere around in here with it. Just like that. This is gonna get interesting here. We'll bring it down. There. We'll bring it down there. We'll bring it right down below. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna get some more of this color. I can tell. I still want the intensity of this dark color. Therefore, we're gonna mix this color. Well, actually I'm gonna put some more ultramarine right there, but we're gonna mix it right in there. Because I like the intensity, I like the deepness of that color. We need that. Okay, we're going to our red. Pop that red in there. Get a little bit of black, just a little bit. Pop it right in. Mix it in there. Definitely need plenty more of this color, this deep color. Go into my glycerin. Put it in there. Now you think that's a lot of glycerin, it really isn't. Not compared to all this paint. All right, that should be okay. That should be all right. Yep, it's good. And we're gonna block all that in. It's this deep blackish purple. Okay. And remember, the glycerin is actually in the paint itself. Okay, and once again, we're just blocking stuff in. Okay, we're just blocking it all in. No fog at this point. We're gonna bring that mountain right down to its bottom there. Okay. We're gonna do something with that river, but right now I'll just join them together there, like that. And let's block all this in. Just like that, just block it right in. The advantage of using glycerin in your paint like this directly is that it will dry faster, because essentially while I'm doing this, it's not a glaze, so I'm using more paint to glycerin, so it will dry fast. Okay. If you went the other way around, where it's more paint than more glycerin than paint, it's going to take a while to dry, and you turned it into a glaze. All right, but as you can see with the darkness here compared to that, it brings this further back. All right, this will be further back because there will be objects in front of this, and you'll see. Now, I know the camera's in the one camera angles, and it's in the way here. This fellow right here is in the way. I'll move it. But right now we're kind of concentrating on this fellow. All right. Aurora, how are you? Good morning. Merry Christmas. Yes, I am wide awake. I am up. And yeah. Okay. So we're going to flesh this fellow out. We're going to put all sorts of little details and craziness in there. That fella. All right. Okay, time for us to play a little bit. Let us, I don't need no more really of this dark as of for right now. So let's get a little, see what it looks like when I put white to that. Actually, that's not too bad. That's not really too bad. Not too bad, not too bad. We're gonna gray it out though. Yes, I am putting sap green in this. I know you guys are looking at me like, what is he doing? The sap green turns it kind of on the gray side, like you see right now. Okay, you see how gray it just turned? Adding green, it turned it gray. I know, that's odd, right? Color mixing is fun. Breakfast time. Where are you at, Aurora? I'm using the side of the brush. Okay. And we're just gonna get some very interesting mountain textures going with this. Okay. No light or dark side as of yet, but we're gonna get just the general textures happening with this. And I'm gonna use the side of the brush, and we're just gonna get some really interesting happenings with this. We're not gonna get rid of all that dark. And as I do this, and you see me doing it, we're gonna get some interesting things going on with it. Don't get rid of your darks though. Okay, you're gonna need those darks. Right now, once again, I'm just fleshing out this guy, getting the general color of the mountain right now. All right. We'll do more with it as we move this thing along. General color of the mountain. right up to the top there. Get a little bit more, just pat it. Just pat it. Don't worry about, I know we got it kind of going to one side and it's all right. Remember, we're going to add more detail and stuff to this. Jeez. Oh, Sweden. All right. Okay. Yeah, you are daytime now, or pretty darn close to it. Early morning. When I was on Facebook doing these, I used to be on here this late on the regular. I would be talking to people from Dubai, all over the place, everywhere but the States. Let's put this camera angle up in the air so you guys can see what's going on, what I'm doing here. And yes, I'm using a large brush to do all of this. Once again, I'm not getting rid of all of that dark, but we'll be working on the light and dark side soon. Okay. Breakfast sounds really good right about now. Now, obviously, we know where our light side is coming from. Okay. All right. Let's. I just want to do different texture of mountains today, so we'll just keep using we'll just use a brush. I'm using more white into this already gray that we've created here. And once again, I'll just take this and we'll just use the side of the brush. The reason why I'm using the side of the brush, it just gives you a lot more interesting texture. All right, okay. We're gonna zoom in a little bit. I'll bring this down so it kind of, yeah. All right. Okay, here we go. We'll do it right from the edge here. A little touch. It's going to give you a different texture for a mountain. Half tap, half kind of stroking along here. Once again, I'll just keep using the side of the brush. But you see the textures, see what's happening, what's going on there. I can have some meet the other one, go straight down like this. Let's come up here. Wherever your leading edge is, or wherever you want your leading edge, this is how you do it. Some drags in, some drag. And a lot of the previous strokes that we've done actually helps you out. So you can just kind of look at where the crevices are. Okay. This one is like above the, like that. Get some more. Pop some in here like this. Like that. Get a little bit more white. Tap it in there. Just like that. You can go on the other side and do it too. See how it's starting to look? Gives a different texture to a mountain. Let's get some more white. Dip it right into that light gray, just like that. Turn the brush around. I'm just using the flat edge of the brush. Basically what I'm doing is I'm creating a sharper edge, and then I'll just fade out the rest. I fade out the back edge there. Okay, so let's go here. See that edge, and then you just kind of see, fade that out, keep that pretty strong in the front, and that's how you get the faded out edges. But look what it's starting to do here. You see, now once again, I'm very used to doing this. Okay, so I can kind of see the patterns that are gonna happen. You will do the same thing the more you do it. You start seeing edges and valleys and all that. Okay, you'll start seeing that stuff. Let's create one right here, right in here. It's a continuation from that. So now I got a little mini range going here. I didn't intend for it to be a mini range happen, but it just happened right down in here. Something like that. So now we got one right here, and now you just instantly made a range back here. All right, without even trying. And once again, we're going to bring it right down to the bottom there. All right, which obviously it makes the mountain even larger. It brings it up way close. You follow me? Okay. All right. The paint's still tacky, so I can take my finger and add little things to it. I don't really need to add too much there. All right. Okay. Let's do something as I'm thinking about it right now. Let's see this little band of dark right here. I'll just bring it out a little bit, just right there. I don't need too much of this, but I want to kind of accentuate. Watch this. Just where some of that some of the dark parts, we're gonna just kind of really beef up some of that dark part down in here. And what it does when you start doing stuff like that, it really sets your, now this is almost like a glaze. Okay, it just brings out the shine of the other mountains a little bit more. Okay, and you can handle this just like the lighter color. You can use your finger, you can rub it if it's too if the line is too direct or too sharp. You can always kind of smooth it over a little bit, pretty much like I'm doing right now. You can always kind of soft blend if it's too abrupt. Okay, just like that. All right. All right. Welsh slate. Okay. Yeah, it does kind of look kind of like that, or some kind of granite or something. But yeah, it breaks off into little shale plates. I'm gonna take some direct white. So where little direct sun, or at least a direct shine, is hitting, I don't need too much of this. It's just a direct shot. craggy, little stipply. Just where you think direct light is going to hit, which is usually the edges. Little taps in there just to denote where that light is directly hitting this fellow, which is usually toward the top, toward the peaks and stuff. I don't want to overdo it too much. But definitely up on top. Some of it kind of caresses the side, but it's definitely on the top where it's kind of high up there. Okay. Doesn't have to go down below, but really up here. Maybe a little bit on the side there if you can get it on there, but not too much, just a little bit. All right, got to give it a sense of scale. All right, we're gonna add some of that love back here also. I don't want it totally dark. All right, okay. Let's get a slightly smaller brush. We'll use this little fella right here. Okay, I want it. I'll use some of this. I'll put it right in here. A little bit of a highlight, but not too bright. So you can see the color shift now that I added this stuff in with the gray. I don't know if you guys, yeah, you guys can see it. Here it is. Here's what we used before for the highlight here. That's what this is right here. This is the new stuff that's going to be in the back here. Okay. All right. Once again, general color. And we're going to use the underside. I'm going to get some paint off of there. And then you just kind of pop it in there. Now, if it's too light or if it's too much the same color, then I'll go a little bit lighter. So I'm looking at it right now. I might have to go a little lighter, just a little bit, maybe. I'm looking, yeah, just a little bit lighter. Just a little lighter. There's a slight touch of white in that. You don't need too much. Just a little bit. Okay, and very lightly, just kind of. There we go. That works. That works. Kind of. Come around in here. Just like that. I'm gonna accentuate. Bring it down. And you're just getting general shapes. You see some of the detail. You see some of the edges. I wish I didn't do that. If you end up doing something like that, you can easily get rid of that. I just don't try to make a big habit of that. Excuse my head. I can't see because of the glare of the glycerin. Now that little mark I got there. Now glycerin and water are not good bedfellows. But as you can see, you can easily make it just go away. So it's no big deal. Okay, you're not gonna really notice it anyway, as we're, doing this. Okay, let's block in for right now. As you can see, it's not that difficult to pop those mountains in there like that. Let's deal with blocking in this stuff. All right, we're gonna get a slightly larger brush. Let's go back to, I'm gonna use this big one. So we're gonna get some of this this land here. Let's go into we'll still use this pasty stuff here. I'm just gonna block in the land. We're gonna use a little bit of green, just like that. Sky blue and the green. I got a little bit of red left. I'm gonna need some more. Well, I'm gonna need a little bit more red than that. We'll use the red. We'll use a little bit of cat red. We'll put some here, but we'll definitely gonna put some right in there. Once again, we're just blocking this in. Red's a very strong color, as you can see. Now we'll throw that green in there. Red and green are opposites on the color wheel, so they cancel each other out and you get this brownish color. Okay. We'll use some water this time, not glycerin. We just use a little bit of water, loosen it up a little bit. Once again, I just want to block this stuff in. We'll get the texture and all that in a few. Okay. We're going to come in here and we're just going to add our brownish texture all up in here like this. Block it in. Once again, I'm blocking it in using water. I'll expand it this way, like that. And then the rest we just kind of, once again, I'm just laying out the color, just blocking it in. Block it all in. One, it gets rid of looking at all that blank white paper. Okay. So once again, I'm just blocking it in. Now I'm using water and not glycerin to block it in. The advantages are, of course, it's going to dry a lot faster if you use water. Okay. Once again, I'm just blocking it in. That's it. Just block it in. Get a little bit more water. Come on in here. Now I'm using, once again, thick paint. Okay. All right. This I'm going to we're going to take care of that part first. It's really this kind of lake thing that I want to straighten out here. Like that. I'll keep it like that. That's a good pattern. Then block in the rest. And this is how you do your work. You just do it a part at a time. And as you get more and more into detailing it, you get the structure of it. You get to, fine tune some things here and there. Okay. All right. But there we go so far. All right. Let's get some this blue, we'll put it right into that brown, just like that. Put it in there, mix it right in there. It's all right. Get a little bit of green, slap that red back in there a little bit. Okay. Alrighty. We'll use this. Just get a little dip of water. I'm just blocking in some watercolor. Funny that I would mention that term. I'm using all this water in this acrylic paint. We'll just block it in right now. Yeah, it's a little dark. It's all right. I'm using the water because, one, it will dry, basically. A little more water, believe it or not. Paint's pretty thick. Once again, I'm just blocking in the water, just seeing where it sets right now. You can always alter and adjust this stuff. Right now, once again, I'm just blocking stuff in. Just see where it sets right now. And it dries almost instantly, so. One of the advantages of doing water versus the vegetable glycerin. Vegetable glycerin will blend very nicely. But if you want to block in stuff and see how it looks, how it's gonna look when you add more details, at least you get a nice image with the water, because once again it just dries. Okay. So once again, I'm just looking at where it looks like, where it's going, and all of that stuff. All right, I'm looking at it. I'm like, well, yeah, okay. For right now, okay. All right. Sonia, welcome back. Get some sleep, girl. All right. Once again, we're not going to have any mist or fog here. Okay. That won't happen. We're not going to get any mist or fog. But I am going to put some trees in there. Different variety of trees. I might do, well, no, I might do two different types of trees. I'm thinking about it right now as I'm talking to you, what route I should take as far as that's concerned. Still thinking about it, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. I want to lay in the trees in the back first, actually. So let's do that. I'm thinking of what type of trees, or what style of tree. They're going to be pines back here, but they're in the back. We'll see. We'll see. Let's get. I want to use. I'll use this right now to gauge. We'll see. I'm going into blue, going into a little Mars black. Okay, we're gonna need a lot more than that, so I'm dipping into more Mars black, a nice chunk of blue. Okay. Right now I gotta gauge how high I want the trees in the background. They're background guys, so I really don't want to dip it into water. So I'm just gonna see right now how tall I want these fellas back here. I do got a mark to where I want those tall fellas. This is why you see me marking them like this. I gotta really think about this for a second. Put a big one back there. Like that. I'm coming on the other side here. Actually, I can just keep these going. It's okay. Now, the height of the trees is very important. Something like that. So it's very important why I'm doing what I'm doing. Okay. I think that would work. That would work. Let's kind of a height thing here. So what you see me doing really is establishing where kind of the heavy foliage would be, which would be dark like these trees. So I'm kind of popping it in there right now. And I'm using pure paint that it dries instantly. It's very important for that dip right there. It's like that. You're not going to really tell about that line being there, and you'll see in a second. We should pretty much keep that. Once gone, this painting, this whole painting is approached a little differently than what I usually do. We're going to use let's put this guy back in here. Where is my? I don't think I dropped it. Yes, I did drop it. Crap, it's right down there too. It's too far away for me to get it in this chair, so I'm gonna have to get up. I forgot I never picked it up from the last session. Oh, crap. Come here, come on, Daddy. The lapel mic I have on my chest, it's like 40 feet long. It's wrapped up, but I have to, when it's on me, I have to twist and turn a certain way or it's gonna pop right off my chest and hit the floor. So, but I forgot I knocked this thing down. I just never got it. Okay, we're gonna go into some water here, as you can see. Yep, you guys can see this. All right. Going into some water with this is a rigger brush. It's not a, I'll show you the difference. But this is it's a liner brush, not a script liner. All right. All right. You should be able to see the difference here. If not, I'll bring it up here. Okay. Yeah, I'll put it right there. Now you can see the difference. This is a script liner. Script liner and a liner or a rigger brush. This is a script liner for fine lines and all that with this guy. All right. Okay. All right. We're going to do some pine trees here. I'm just debating on what type of pines to do. As I'm thinking, I think I'm going to do them this way. What I'm going to do is go quickly from the left and right. Let me see if I have a piece of paper. I'll just do it on a piece of tape. I'll show you what I'm talking about, because you're gonna see me do it and wonder what the heck am I doing. So what we'll do, I'll take a piece of tape. I'll just put the tape right here. Okay. So what I'm gonna actually do, let's say we have like we got up there a line like that. All right. And what I'm gonna do with this brush is quickly go from the left and right like this. And different, see, like that. And I'll angle them downward a little bit, but you see the look that they're getting? Just like that. They get wider as they go down, but it's gonna look pretty much something like that, but a bunch of them all together. Okay, but that's what those are gonna look like back there. All right. So it's a different way to do them, but they're background trees. But that's essentially what we're gonna do. All right. A wee bit time, so you don't want to get sloppy with it. Okay. I don't need the paint to be extremely watery, but just enough to get some interesting shapes going on with it. And here we go. And you can kind of buzz through these quite quickly. You do one side, then you do the other. Trust me, you would rather it be that way. As you can see, I'm going a little heavy on some. They get a little wider. I'm going on the other side, get some more paint. You do the same thing. You vary the distance of them. And once you see them grouped together, they'll look pretty darn neat. Okay. And yes, they are dark, and it'll be dark on purpose. All right. You don't want everything to be in super focus. Doing trees like this, it will take a little bit more time than doing it with the fan brush, but it's the effect of them. Don't be afraid to have these trees bump into each other. Remember I told you about this line? You're not going to tell anything about that line when we're done. So, you know, sometimes if you want to really improve in your painting, your style, how you want to do things, sometimes you just got to switch up. That's all. So, you know, don't be afraid to kind of experiment. You can do this even with larger trees, and I'll show you. With the same technique, it's just, you can do it with a flat brush, and once again I'll show you. And you'll get pretty much the same pattern, the same look that you see me doing with this rigger brush. It's just a larger brush that you're doing it with. Okay. When the tree's a little far away, like this, once again, do one side, then the other side. Vary them. Vary your pressure. And don't be so scared to venture some of these strokes into the other tree. But still concentrate really on one tree at a time. Now, some of these little stick things that I did are being swallowed by, they're being swallowed by the other, or some of these larger branches. That's fine. Now I'm taking my brush, I'm using more of the brush and going to the left. Okay. And it's all right that you do that. You can make some go straight across. Up to you how you want to do that. Just like so. But wherever I see a nice thick line that I've planted in there, I'm going to put them in there. No matter how tiny it is, no matter how big it is, I'm still going to do them. It's all good. Get a little bit more water. Pop it in there. Move the paint around. Totally envelop your brush into it. Even though I'm using dark color to do them, you can still see them because this dark is darker than that mountain back there. Okay, so don't ever think that you can't use dark colors next to each other. You can. You most definitely can. We got one right here. Still looks like pine trees back there. A different variety of pine, but it still looks like pines. And even though they're this far away, the triangle method still applies. It's whiter at the base than it is at the top, even for trees this far. The only time I'll skip one of these, the tree limbs, the trunks, if that I have it swallowed by something else. But if my eyes spot one, I am going to get to it and add the leaves, because if my eye spotted it, that means your eye is spotted too. So don't leave them behind. All right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll get done with all of this, and then I'll probably pop the buffalo in probably tomorrow. Like I said, I'm not really doing anything too special besides being Santa, dropping gifts off or whatnot, and eating. So when you see me look to the right, I have a 45-inch TV monitor that I'm looking at myself do this with. When you see me looking over that way and upward. And ironically, when I see myself painting, it kind of looks like someone else is doing it. Believe it or not, I know it sounds weird, but it does. It looks like somebody else is doing this thing. And so I get a different kind of perspective on how it looks, the composition, blah, 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 all that nerd talk. But it does work. I'm turning my brush around. Getting those really. But you can see what it starts to look like here now. Okay. And it'll look better as you pan out and pan away. I told you you're not going to really tell about that line being there. And you're not going to really notice that. You will not notice that line. You won't notice it unless I point it out to you, really. And you're not going to notice it because, once again, if the line is too dark, we can go back over it. No big deal. Getting some more water. Got some thicker paint here on the edge. Just like that. And twirl the brush around. You can see me just twirl it around there. All right. All right. Let me see something. I'm curious about. Come here. There you are. All right, we're about an hour, 40 minutes in. All right. I just needed to see something. Okay. I know I do these. Well, I'm also instructing and running my mouth, so that kind of eats up time also. Like I say, as it gets earlier and earlier into the morning, I don't expect a whole lot of people being around. They'll watch it after the fact, and that's fine. because I know I'm on really late, at least here in the States. In California, what is it, 9 o'clock? No, 10 o'clock at night in California now. It's 2 o'clock here. It's a 4-hour difference between California and here. All right, let's move this camera over a little bit. We got a few more of these beauties to do. Like I say, now I'm going from left and right because I'm accustomed to it. You don't have to. If you need to go from the right and do all of them, and then go from the left and do all of them, go for what you know. It's all good. Do what makes you comfortable, so try it both ways. All right. And yes, I am doing every one that I see. Excuse my head. This kind of hit that focus button there so you guys can see it a little better. I do have to move over toward this way. It's just my lights are making it kind of bright, so it's hard for me to tell where I'm aiming at, so I have to even look at the TV a little bit to see where I'm at, because the TV shows it a little bit better than I can see with these glasses on. So yes, I am actually painting and glancing at the TV as I'm doing this. I know it's crazy. That's why I'm tilted this way. It's getting a little bit warm here in the room, so it's affecting the paint. So I need a touch more water. Once again, as you get down into the base gets wider. It does take a bit of time to do them, all right, but the effect is really cool. And it's on you how much time you want to devote to your work, really. You get more of a wild and more of a bushy type of look. The more you use the base of the brush, the further down on the brush that you stroke. The more you use the tip or the point, the finer the look. As you can see here. It's a taller tree. As I go down, I use more of the base or the stem of the brush. Okay, but let's pan it. You can see what's going on back there. See that? All right. Okay. Now, as you see me doing this, remember, there's going to be larger trees in front of this yet. Bigger ones, much bigger. Because I have to do it so there's a sense of scale to where we are. Because remember, we're going to throw a big buffalo in there too. So you know, it's going to look like we're somewhere in Yellowstone, somewhere out there in Montana. Once again, I'm just using a different variety of dark, which shows in front of the darker mountains. But I knew that I was going to do some trees, and I knew I was going to have to play around with messing with the dark. Okay, that I knew, that was a given. I knew that was going to happen. All right, so that's no problem. I knew that was going to, you know, go on like that. What you don't see is me matching this. I'm trying to get the rest of the dark here. If I don't, I can get some more, or I'll just make some more real quick. But I'm blending all that. If I think you see a line, I'm blending that line in. It's just some obscure shapes here and there, just to blend it in a little bit. But you're not going to really pay attention to none of that by the time I'm done, to be honest with you. You're not going to notice none of that, because we're going to have some giant trees in the way of some of this. So, once again, hashtag, don't panic. All right. Hold on for a second. All right. Let's do something here. Let's bring it back. All right. Okay. We'll keep it pretty much right here. Let's slide this over. Now, I really take a lot of planning when I do these videos, because I do see a lot of my contemporaries do videos, and sometimes when they show their work, it's kind of tilted, or it's at some weird funky angle, or half their body's in the shot, like mine used to be a few years back. And I'm like, nobody's gonna learn anything like that. So if I position the camera in a way where you guys hear my voice, see less of the back of my head like that, and you see the painting, you see it straight on, it's just a better view. You get to understand it. When I show the palette here, you get to see color mixes and whatnot. I do have to learn to, it's just the way the camera's positioned. I should switch it around and put the camera here at the edge. It's just the positioning of it, okay? Or I just bring the paints here where you guys can see me mix instead of putting it over here. That's just a small thing, but you guys get to see me mix the paint. I describe it and whatnot. Okay, but this is why I do what I do and how I do it. All right, but okay, let's put this. Let's aim this downward for 1 minute. All right, but now you guys see, besides this looking like a volcano, but you can see the little rivers and stuff going on back down there. It's still foggy. You still see a little bit of the texture and whatnot. Okay. This can go. Let's see if I can get away with it here. This can go actually behind the mountain. Let's have that go behind the mountain there, like that. So we already know it's behind this guy. It's behind the mountain. All right. That's definitely behind that mountain. This guy, this fella, there we go. Put him in front of it, so that brings that back a little bit, like that. All right. And all you need is that much to let it know that it's in front of this. Okay, and we'll kind of incorporate some. Kind of add that in there like that. Blend it in a little bit better, like so. I did one of those mistakes again. That's all right. We'll just kind of cover it up like that. No big deal. Cover it up. Make a little shade right in there like that. There, nobody will know the difference. All right, okay. And it just brings that little tip brings that cloud back. And we already know it's in back of that. It's a monster cloud, but it's in back of this. Okay, all right. I mean, if I wanted to be nitpicky about it, I can trail this down a little bit more if I wanted to, but we'll just keep it back there. It will be fine. All right. Okay, let's bring this back up again. All right. Nobody has any statements, any comments, any questions? Nobody. Okay, then. Let us get some of this straightened here. Now, once again, I'll emphasize all the mountain texture was done with a brush. All right. What else I was gonna say? Besides the mountain texture being done with a brush, the clouds were a little more defined. They're a little more. They were done fairly hands-on. You know, actually sketching them out. Okay, so everything's a different take on what I usually would do. All right. Even these trees far away are done differently. I'm gonna do bigger versions just like this for this area here. This is gonna be kind of like long grass, but I'm gonna show you a way to do that in a second. But I am gonna just get the patterns of the grass first. All right, and I'm gonna use. I could use a fan brush. I really could. Well, thank you, Aurora. I could use a fan brush, but I'm not. I should, but I won't. I'm gonna use this little thing here. Okay. Let's see what colors do I have left. Not a good mix. Not a good choice. Not a good mix, but that's all right. Let's go into our. We're gonna use a little bit of yellow ochre. Go into yellow ochre just like that. Don't know if that's going to be enough. Guess I'll touch upon a little bit of sap green in there, just a little bit. We'll see how that does. That'll work for right now. I'm gonna need more sap green, that's for sure. But this should work somewhat. All right. Let's start building up all of this. Slowly but surely. We're gonna come back here and we'll kind of just like that, just tap, 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 tap. And we'll just kind of fill it right in there. A lot of taps and texture. I'm gonna come back here. It's a little bit more finely, or refined, a little finer than that. So I'm gonna tighten that up back there. Don't worry about it being overly too thick or whatever. It's going to flatten out, all right? I'm not looking, I'm just kind of, once again, just getting texture. I'm not going to get rid of all of that bits of brown, and you're not going to either. It's going to peek through. So, hashtag. Panic not. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Keep going. Keep going. Keep moving it around. Don't worry. I'm going to turn my brush over. Now, I could use a larger brush to do this. Yes. Right down here. Keep going. If it looks a little patterny, we'll change that up. But right now, I'm not looking for, I'm just blocking stuff in still. Now, why am I tapping away like a madman and not just because it's not leaving any kind of texture, no kind of grass-like texture. It's just, you know, I'm looking for really just for texture. Okay. Once again, you think I'm getting rid of all that brown? I'm not. No, that's not going to happen, because when it dries, you're gonna see the brown peeking through anyway. So don't worry about it. Need some more green. Maybe not. Let's see. Put it right in the bristles there. Right back here, we're gonna do the same thing back here. Get that nice little line there. Come out that way. I'm gonna get it kind of hovering close to the edge. Turn my brush over. All right, and then we pop in the rest there. Hopefully I got enough. If I don't, I'll just open up a little bit of sap green and finish it off. But I think I might have enough to block all of this. It's all good. Yeah, we got enough. We got enough. Once again, I'm not getting rid of all of that brown you got down there. Just like that. All right. Okay. So wait till you see what I'm going to do next. All right. Usually, let's move this over here. Let's get it out of the way. We'll pop it over there. Okay. I thought somebody popped in here and said something. I guess not. Okay. All right, we're almost at the 2-hour mark. I should stop because I know this is probably long enough. I really should stop. I just don't want to. Usually if it hits around that 2-hour limit, I'll call it quits. We can get some long grass playing around in here. Okay. Yes, it's just about dry. This. Okay. See. If there's anything that's tacky, it's up here. It's tacky. It's tacky, but it's not. It's not. You see, it's not smearing or anything. Okay, that's just the glycerin that slowly dries. Okay, I can really start to add. Oh, here. Let me show you something. I'll use this little fella. This is a comb brush. Here, you can see the. If I here, I'll put it up here. Get a little closer. You focus. If you guys don't see the little, you might not, because it's kind of tiny. Let's put it down here near this fella. See if you guys can see it. No, not really. It's too tiny. Let's use a bigger one. You guys will be able to see. You guys can be able to see it with this camera easily. But here, look. You see it now? See all those? Put it right here. See those? That's this one, but very, very fine. All right, let's use this. I'm gonna use this and a little bit of yeah, I'll use a little Mars Black. I'll put it right in here like this. Thin it out really good. Okay. All right. But here, can you guys? Yeah, you guys can see it. See those little stripes there? Is it going on there like that? See those? Okay. Kind of a gentle dance with this between the water and this brush. Okay. All right. We'll come in here and I'll just get a little bit of a shadow of long grass straight up in the air. Just like this. And you can control how tall you want the grass doing this. You know, obviously it's getting closer towards us, so the grass will be a little taller like this. Kind of pop it in there like that. So I'm just getting it prepared now. And up here a little. And sometimes maybe just a little line of stuff. But remember, we're getting a sense of scale right now. All right. All up in here. And I'll pop it in there. Remember, you want things in a sense of scale right now. For right now. Okay. Sense of scale. That's the important thing. Let's get a little line of dark right going in here like that. And then we'll kind of emphasize that a little bit more. There's a reason why I'm doing it this way for right now. Right here. Really pop them up there. All right. You see how easily you can establish your foliage? See how this color automatically, without you even trying that hard, you already got depth in your painting now. All right. Down here, you don't have to be so detailed. It's just a simple line. It's all right. Just like so. All right. But now you got something solid there already. Just adding that. You got me? Okay. All right. Okay. Now that we've established that, let's play with I'll use this. It's okay. Let's go with a little bit of let's get the palette knife. I really should stop, to be honest with you. I'm using a little red and yellow ochre. Pop it in there. Little cad red, little yellow ochre. All right. A little slight touch of Mars black in there. Mix it up fairly well. It's going to turn kind of a weird red brown. It's just a little touch of black that did that. Okay. Okay, that should be enough, more or less. We're going to thin that out a little bit, just a little bit. It should be somewhat bright enough, I hope. We'll see. I'll pull it towards me, come around, pull it back towards me. So we're going to get some long grass going here, like stalks of wheat or something like that. All right, and we're going to take it and kind of do one of those little flick things. All right, that's a little thick, but it's all right. Okay. All right. All right. We're going to go right from the bottom of the page here. We're just going to test it out real quick. All right, that'll work. And we're going to do one of these numbers. Needs to be watered down a little bit more. It's all good. This won't be the final bit of it, but we're going to kind of, especially here toward the edge, like so. And don't make it look like little toy soldiers. But we're going to put this long stuff right here on this edge a little bit. A lot of repeating. You're gonna definitely be doing a lot of repeating, like so. Now, as we get further away from this, okay, right here, come on down and kind of put it in there, especially here toward the front, really pressing it. Now, I'm going to take this, because you just established that they're long stalks here. All right. But as you start going further away, I'll start from way back here. And you're going to kind of press. These are a ways away back there. Now you start adding these little dots in there. Don't cover all that green though. Now, as I get closer, I'll do some of these back here. Pop them back there. Now, as I get closer, I'll use, see this? I'll start using the flat edge of the, and it gets longer. You wipe that out of there. Now this paint's a little watery, but that's all right. It dries up. Okay, much like what you see me doing right now. Okay, it's gonna look really interesting in a little while. Let's get some more of this. You go directly with the top of the brush. Now the brush is curved, so you're using essentially the middle of the brush. You go down here this way. Get some interesting little patches going there. I'm gonna go right into the thicker paint a little bit because it is getting too watery. And very lightly, be careful, because you now thicker paint, so be careful with your touch. As we get closer to us, you're gonna more or less use the side so they look more stalk-like. You're gonna bring some of that right at the edge. It's water's edge there. Don't be afraid to go right up into that dark area there. And bring some of those in there. Okay. Right into the edge there. Okay. We're going to get a little bit of what we don't have. I'm looking, I don't see it, I don't have it. All right, no problem. I'll get a little bit of, we'll use some of this yellow. We'll put it right in here like that. Remember, this yellow is very thin, all right? It is very transparent. So we have to bump it up a little bit with a little bit of titanium white. You could use craft paint white, any type of white to kind of. We'll put it right into this brown mix, just like that. Okay, like that. And now you're gonna get some little caps. See where your sunlight is. All right, keep that in mind. We'll go here, very lightly, very light. Add some of those in there. If you got to curve some, curve some. Something like that. Pop them in there. Come on out here a little bit. I'm gonna bring just a few out here. But now I'm gonna take the tip right up at the top here. You got to really concentrate on putting those dots in there like this. And look at where you're kind of aiming them. All right. See where the sunlight is, and that's where you kind of plant these guys. Now, if you got a brush like mine that's kind of curved, you'll know where that curve starts. Pop some in here. It gets a little heavier out here. Let's put a rim like that right in the back there, and then you spread it out a little bit. Bring some out here, kind of almost level, so it kind of looks like, you know, the tall grass, the grassy plains. Not really back here, but toward the front up here. Have a little fun with it. Not necessarily, leave it alone back there. Over here, pretty much the same deal. Establish right at the edge here. Get a little line, get a little love here, but like all back here can really have some stuff happening there, like this. Bring it out towards this way. Out this way. But you see what it starts to look like. Okay. Get some of those tall ones eking out over there. I might not want, well, this kind of tighten those up a little bit. Now I'm just putting where I would think a lot of that sunlight will hit. All right. All right. So something like that. All right. I'm gonna leave you guys alone in a second or two here. Let's get a little bit of, before we call it a night, we'll use this guy. We'll go into a little bit of this blue. Put it right in here. A little bit of water. All right. Okay. I'll leave you alone after this, and we can shut it down. But you can see how things are starting to kind of pick up here. All right. I'll make this. I'll make that disappear, and you guys can see what I'm talking about. I will take a little bit of black. All right, and I'll just use this, and we're gonna emphasize once again that line in there. All right. I'll take our friend, the wicker brush here, and we'll once again emphasize. We're just emphasizing some of those lines there. I'm coming off the tape a little bit with some of them. Almost like ink. All right. Like that. And these are the fellows that are like pretty close to us here.
She's pretty distressed. She doesn't want us to mess with her. She pushed it all.
The further you go away, the more of the tip you're going to use.
She didn't seem to be pushing. They said she was pushing, but that seemed to make much progress, so we're going to pull it out.
Some of it down in there. Don't worry about the lines. They'll dry up and blend right in. But you can kind of see what's happening, what's going on there. And remember, everything is in a sense of scale. All right, we didn't put the other trees in. We'll probably do that tomorrow. And the bison will be in tomorrow also. Okay, let's have this go bye-bye. All right. No problem, Aurora. I appreciate you coming by. Look this is what it looks like. So I'll pull it back a little bit. There we go. All right, this is what she's looking like so far. All right. Okay. I keep forgetting to put that focus on there. Like I say, something a little different than what I do. This is more fine artsy type of things, but it's cool. Every once in a while, I'll do it. All right. If I really wanted to, I can sneak in some the trunks of the trees in here if I wanted to do that. I will not. Let's keep what's in the back. All right, we already got the mountains like right at our doorstep, literally. The bison will be pretty nice size. So like I said, everything will be in the scale. Everything looks kind of mammoth right now till that bison gets put in here. All right, and then you'll see the creek is small enough for this thing to walk across. But once again, it's got to be in proper perspectives here. So you just don't see the animal there yet. All right, but you pretty much get the sense of how far the mountain is, because this is just about the same color as the cloud play back there. We got the gentle little fog covering it. It's still close enough you can still see the little streams and the sunlight hitting off of that. I ended up making one mountain range into two. Okay, they got the tree line here. Then you got your tall grass here. You got your flowing creek going on here. All right, so everything's kind of working out, I can sneak some orange in there also. That would look cool. Oh, I didn't set it, so I might as well do it. I'll put a little, maybe I got a little bit of this left. Let's see, do I got enough of that left? Maybe a little bit of orange. I might have to make my orange, yeah. A little bit of red, a lot of yellow. We'll just make our orange, no big deal. We'll make orange. All right, a lot of yellow. A lot of yellow, 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 yellow. There we go. Now we add a little touch of white in that, brighten that up. All right, now we got a little bit of orange. And I mean a little, just a little bit. We'll pop a little, couple of bits of orange in there. Not too much. And we'll kind of rub it back and forth here. So see, we'll throw a little bit of love in there, just like that. Little shades of the sky in there like that. All right. Okay. All right. We'll call it quits. I promise. We'll call it quits. We'll stop this. Once again, everybody have a Merry Christmas. It is going on 3 o'clock in the morning, Christmas Day. Everybody have a very safe Christmas. Enjoy yourselves. Eat plenty. Be safe. And I shall see you when I see you. This is part 1. Part 2, we'll finish it off. All right. Be safe.